So right before I was falling asleep last night, I had this idea to create this video, and when I woke up this morning, I was like, that's such a bad idea. Why would I even... And then it's night again, as you can see, and I'm like, I'm just gonna do it. I've never seen a video like this being made before. I just feel like it's a good idea. I think it's kind of interesting for people to be honest with their strategies and intention for doing things and desires for doing things, and like, the world would be a much more interesting place if we all shared like our creative process versus just like the shared finished product. And on YouTube, there's like a lot of really cool finished products, but not so much a creative process behind it, which is actually what I'm really interested about. I actually, about a year ago, came up with like an idea for a creative process, like a system that recorded your creative process so everyone can like share theirs, but I digress. Maybe that's another video. This was just to sort of lay out what I'm up to in the next 100 days in this little challenge / commitment I've given myself. And yeah, just give some voice and thought to that. I think it all begins like 10 years ago. I started traveling a lot. And I remember at the beginnings of my travel, YouTube was kind of just like starting to be a thing. I think this was kind of before Instagram. It was sort of my dream to have my own travel show. Oh, I'm going to all these places, I should make content. But there was always this feeling of someone that's gonna be better than me. There's channels that have like 1 million subscribers, people have better equipment, people have funnier things to say, that are whatever. Like there was always a reason not to. I kind of talked myself out of it that first year of traveling. Then it came up the second year of travel. And then the same thing, I talked myself out of it. Third year, and it just kept on going like that. Like almost every year I would want to do it. I would like talk myself out of it. And as you can imagine, as the years went on, chances to sort of have an in with the algorithm and to sort of actually be able to even build a channel became smaller, right? Because there was more competition and like everyone and their mom was on YouTube and stuff like that. So I started to feel a lot of despair and depression around that whole thing, and also some regret as well. Like if I would have, then I could have like changed the trajectory of my life and my career and like all these things, like I think everyone has a form of regret. And so that question of like, should I do this? Whether it's mostly YouTube, but it's also like across the whole social media world. It just lingered up until last week. This question is not gonna, it seems like it's not going anywhere until I live it out, until I give it a shot, until I give it a try. And it's so interesting and funny to me because it's almost like now that it's been 10 years and in all these years of having this fear that this is not gonna take off, that fear is I've almost given myself like no shot of winning this thing in the sense that I've waited for 10 years. So there's like a lot of irony in that, and a little bit of sadness that I've waited so long. But there's also beauty there that I'm finally doing it. I've sort of like surrendered or given up to myself. I've given up to my doubt and also perfectionism. And also I think what allowed me to do this is like the realization that this probably won't... Oh my God. Was that loud the whole time? I just realized like there was some AC system going on this whole time. Okay, now we can hear like the cricket. YouTube and sharing yourself and creating this challenge with, a challenge or a commitment around it can additionally be important and valuable beyond, oh, am I gonna get, 100,000 followers? Am I gonna make money with this? For me, I anticipate I'll learn is a truer voice, which is like so valuable to me. I've already kind of noticed that. First couple videos I posted, it's just sort of cringy to me to even watch them, but it's like I have to post them because I have this challenge where I'm gonna post for the next 100 days. No one really has enough time to create perfect content every single day. I just have to like get over myself and, I take commitments when I make them. I don't make them very often, but when I make them, I take them super seriously. And so it's just like, you kind of see the evolution I'm beginning to see, even just smallly, like how do I hold, like in terms of like the entertainment industry and also just like every single second of life or everyday life, it's like, how do you hold attention? How do you want to communicate, how comfortable can you be in your own words and what you're saying, and can you really look at a camera? Like, I think in my first videos, like, I was looking at myself, and it's like now I'm starting to see myself like actually talking maybe to a person who's watching this. Like, I'm already starting to see myself care less about other things in my life because I'm so much less precious about my YouTube videos. Like, feels like going over this like little hump, and I think this is the first one, so I'm really curious to see what other ones come. Anyway, without further ado, this was in my mind last night, like organize this whole idea for like what I could share in this video, like the system or structure behind this. I have basically AB day, or you can say like day 1, day 2, day 1, day 2. So day 1, basically you record the video. So today is like a day 1 day. So, and you also edit it, which is kind of intense to record and edit in the same day, but I actually really like editing, and I'm using iMovie, which is like very easy. So you basically just create a video. It's usually like about 10 minutes or so. Then you edit it, which usually takes another probably like 20 minutes, and done. You're done with that. And I found that I hate posting the same day. Like, I'm way too close to the material, like, too shy about it. I'm too embarrassed about it. Like, it's just too close to me of who I am that day. But I find that if today's the day that I create it and edit it, tomorrow's the day that I post it and come up with the title, hashtags, whatever you want to do to like kind of market it. So because the next day it feels like I'm a new person or a slightly different person. Like, you know how like every day you just like wake up a little bit differently, like you're just in a, like, even if there's like say only like 50 patterns of who you are as a person, it's like every day it's like you'll be like that person that day, and then maybe you'll recycle that person in like 2 weeks from now, but it's just like I feel like a different person every day, a different pattern of myself. And so there's more space, like I'm more distant from what I created the day before, and I almost have no problem posting it. And also I'm tied to now this like day A, day B, day 1, day 2 commitment container thing. So I just like, it's a groove, and you just kind of like get into the groove of it. So I found that that model has worked. Right now I'm just posting to YouTube, but in a few days, once I've kind of given myself a week to kind of warm up to that, and then after that I'm going to start repurpose the material. So YouTube is kind of like my main thing, but make it into like a YouTube short, because you just got to slice it into 1 minute, right? Just like edit it down into 1 minute, and then throw it on TikTok and also Instagram. So for me, I have several projects in the works in terms of like businesses. All of this is gonna probably influence / help / support, which I'm curious to see how it's gonna be. I'm not being so strict or having like such tight expectations around how that might look. Like, I know a lot of people create content and market in certain ways and have certain funnels and things like that. Mine's totally not like that. There's a lot more freedom in this for me, because it's also a learning lesson for me to see kind of who I am as a creator, and not just like content creator, but as like an artist and as a person who's wanted to share and post. Like, I've been holding that in for so many years, so this is actually about that more than business. But that's also kind of like a positive perk that comes out of this, that might come out of this, that probably will come out of this, hopefully comes out of this. I think there's a part of me that wants to be in front of the camera, that's always wanted to be in front of the camera, but kind of like on my own terms. So also exploring what that looks like, and time was really ticking by. I guess I got like really real with my desire that I really wanted to do this, and the pain of not doing it had actually become bigger than the pain of doing it and failing. So that's where I'm at right now, which is kind of a cool place to be, but I've like suffered a lot in the process of getting here, which sucks, and hopefully I don't do that anymore in the future. So my dad used to say something in Kurmdari in Farsi, which means like you have a worm. Sometimes we have this like itchiness, this restlessness to do something, and that worm is going to continue to be inside of us until we do that thing. Another way to say it is like sometimes we're meant to do something, you know, and it's going to bug us until we do it. But it's like, I don't know why it took me so many years to realize this, but it just kind of clicked for me, which is not able to control the outcome, but I can get into action. I can commit to doing it. I can commit to, I guess it's like committing to believing that your desires are worthy, you know, and realizing like how much you're beating yourself up by not doing the things that you want to do, especially if when they persist and they ask you for years to do them. Kind of gotten into the car of the journey. Like I was very much into the destination and like kind of like, okay, where I'm gonna land. I want to land in this like incredible destination. And then now I'm kind of like in the car seat, you know, and I'm just like driving along like day to day. I just noticed that the sky became dark in the last 15 minutes, which is kind of cool. Kind of got that like really pretty bluish, like fiery blue.